videos on this record doing that.
I mean, musically, it seems that the album has a more kind of direct, perhaps less technical approach. Did you kind of have the ethic that less is more this time around? There's a lot more like space and groove.
You see, I mean, I kind of thought so a little bit, you know, and it wasn't even like we went into it thinking that, but as we started recording it, it turned out to be that sometimes the less stuff that we had, the less guitar tracks that we recorded, the fuller it sounded. Sometimes the less, you know, instruments like competing, the bass playing along with the guitars, kind of the less that we had of that, the more everything kind of started to stand up, you know, had like its own identity. And, you know, there's 11 songs on this record, so it's like we got a chance to kind of break out and do a couple other things too. You know, it's like yeah, there's tons of not there's a lot of like, you know, reminiscent speed metal things, you know, quote unquote. But it's like we kind of tried to like not just be pigeonholed into being speed metal on this record and try to break out and do a few other things as well. Bring out the melody.
Right, and you wrote the lyrics as well for one particular track, didn't you?
Yeah, on a couple songs actually. You know, a few of them.
Now, in past interviews when we've spoken to you guys, you've said that your previous albums were like autobiographical of where Megadeth were at a certain time in your career. Now, this album has two songs which I felt were very personal to you, Dave.
Let me guess.
Skin of My Teeth and Sweating Bullets. Have you heard this before?
Oh, you skipped This Was My Life.
Oh, right, okay. Could you tell us a little bit about those songs? Were you kind of like exorcising demons?
Skin of My Teeth was, it's kind of about, it's about living on the edge, you know, and wanting to check out, you know what I mean? But not getting there. You know, a lot of times I'd gotten so loaded that I could have died. There was one time where I thought I was dying, and I asked this guy to give me my guitar, and I put my guitar over my shoulder because I wanted to die with my guitar on. And don't get chills. And it's just times like that where I think about it, you know. I mean, reality's so drag sometimes when you have to look at your demons in the face, and people hold up the mirror, and it's an ugly sight sometimes. Skin of My Teeth is about all the many times that I should have died, and somehow or another my guardian angel kept me from going.
You don't give any credit to yourself, like pulling yourself back from the brink?
A lot of the times I don't think I was capable of doing it. I mean, my guardian angel must be on steroids because he had a definite fight with me for a long time.
Right.
So.
This Is My Life?
Sweating Bullets was the other one that you had spoke about. That's particularly about the fact that, you know, when you write music anymore, you're such a target. You know, you write about women, you're sexist. You write about blacks or Mexicans or Japanese or anything like that, you're racist. You write about homosexuals, you're homophobic or something like that. You know, the only person left for me to write about is the white middle-class male or myself. And with myself, it's like, that song's about my schizophrenic evil twin and the problems that I have dealing with him. And you know, that's about the safest thing I can write about because I'm the only one who really knows if I piss myself off writing about myself. And you'll never know that because I could lie to you. That song pretty much is about just, you know, just doing all the weird things that you do in the course of the day and knowing that you're your only friend, really, and that you have to live with yourself.
Okay, well, thanks for telling us about that, and we're going to talk some more a little bit later on. We've got some more music now on Headbangers Ball, and then I'll be back with the two Daves from Megadeth. Steve and Dave from Megadeth here on Headbangers Ball, and I wondered, why did you feel that the time was right to write a ballad, captured, kind of a ballady song, captured?
We don't like to use that B word, actually.
B word.
The ballad.
Well, how do you think that song fits into the Megadeth format then?
That's our homophobic song.
Yeah. Dave's been saying that with letting everybody in the band write songs if the record flops, that way he can blame it on us. So that intro part was actually my idea. So if it sucks, I guess I'm the one that has to take the blame for it. But I hate that word ballad. I mean, to me, that's for, like, you know, the music industry stiffs that like have 10 ears and can't, you know, determine a good song from a bad one. And so it's like if it has an acoustic guitar, they go, oh, it's the band's ballad.
No, tell me about
you know what I mean? But it's like for us, you know, it's not like, oh well, this is our turning point, our fifth record. We need to have a ballad on it. It's like, you know what? It's another Megadeth song.
You know, the more I let these guys write, the more crap I catch. For Hangar 18, we've been nailed to the wall for believing in Martians.
Thank you, Nick.
For Captive Honor, now I'm hearing it's a ballad. Someone said I was homophobic, and I didn't write any of the. I didn't write that song with intentions of being homophobic or anything like that. Because my wife's really a man. No, I'm just kidding.
No, perhaps ballad was the wrong word, but it is more in the vein of, say, a song like In My Darkest Hour, a little.
Well, it's sad. The guy's getting married in prison to a big black guy. I'd be scared. I'd be sad. You know, that's why the part says, "Boy, your soul better belong to Jesus, because your ass belongs to me." What do you think he's talking about?
Yeah.
I see.
That we had like a lot of our friends come in. That's actually the guy that we do our band meetings with, our band therapy. That like is so
Yeah, we
notorious
heard
for
about
everybody in the States to talk about. Yeah, so we had him come down. We go, man, you got to come down and like do a little cameo on there. So he's like, ha ha ha, doing his big hefty jolly laugh on there.
Man, if I went into prison and that guy was my cellmate, I'd kill myself.
Your soul belonged to Jesus.
Yeah, I'd kill myself right
I
there.
mean, why did you have this therapist guy with you? Was it just to help you keep things in perspective?
We started doing that about 3 years ago, actually, when Dave and I were pretty much at the bottom of the barrel, you know, and it was just down to the two of us again, and Nick wasn't even in the band at that point, and we were going through management change and all this stuff, and actually it was suggested to us to try to hook up with someone who was running Dave's local stop of the rehab that he was in.
Thanks. Thank you, Dave.
And
thanks.
So we started having band meetings, you know, with him like every morning, you know, over tons of coffee and donuts and that, and get together and like start hashing out a bunch of things. And sometimes they were just, you know, it was never any knockdown, drag out fights, but the total, you know, verbal fights and stuff. And we wouldn't talk to each other for a few days, and you know, finally we got through all that stuff and it just moved on. And I mean, it's really paid off for us, because now we talk about like whatever it may be, you know, if it's, we don't let all the, you know, things with money and you know, songwriting and this and that or whatever the issues may be get in the way anymore, so that way we can like just move on. A lot of bands, you know, a lot of really successful bands have been breaking up and losing their members due to, you know, whatever their, you know, their abuse problems or partying.
That's the new trend in L.A.
Yeah, get successful, go platinum, and then break up, you know, so. But rather than do that, our therapy thing has like been really good for us.
Okay, if I can be devil's advocate here, which is my job to a degree, some people are going to compare you to Metallica in some ways.
What?
How are you going to deal with that? Just because they've stripped down their sound and they've done some slower songs and stuff like that.
I think anybody with half a brain. I told him when I listened to his record, I said, you know, I thought that The Unforgiven was the best song on the whole album, and I listened to his whole album, and this was about, the first time I heard it was almost a year ago or something, and he goes, man, that really meant a lot to me, man, you know, and I went, well, you know, I mean, I really don't really care too much for the rest of the album, because that song, you know, means so much more than everything else, because the chords were innovative and it was really cool. If people try and compare us to a multi-platinum act, that's okay. It's better than comparing us to a barroom band, some of the shit that's around where we live, you know. But I think, you know, if you have something successful and people are comparing you to that, you know, it's kind of a way of flattery, you know, for us to say that we're comparative to some of our predecessors that have achieved a much higher level of status than we have. That's fine. Just spell our name right, whoever you compare us to.
Okay. Well, very quickly, when can we expect to see you on tour in Europe?
I don't know if I want to commit to that, because I don't really know the dates for sure, but
Right.
I know we're
Towards
supposed
the
to.
end of the year.
Yeah, we're supposed to play the Roskilde Festival tentatively. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet or not. In Denmark on the 27th, I think it is.
Right.
As far as in September, we might be coming back the middle of September to start our tour, and I'm not sure who the support's going to be, or if we're going to headline, or if we're going to be just doing 100 shows at the Marquee. You know.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
for you.
Well, this is just a tentative preliminary interview.
We'll know
because,
more sooner.
I'm going to catch up with you again when you do come back over to tour, and of course you will be able to see the full Megadeth tour listing on Headbangers Ball, hopefully in the not too distant future, so watch out for that. But for now, I have to say goodbye to you, and thank you very much for joining me. Good luck with the album, Countdown to Extinction, and nice to see you guys again. And this album certainly has my seal of approval, if that's worth anything.
Thank you.
Very
So
good.